visuals, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the spoiler-free review for Thor: Love and Thunder. In fact, we might have to get I don't know how I can do this. He's right there. We might have to get the bad boy. Oh, visuals. We have just gone and seen Thor: Love and Thunder. Well, again, and this time, bit dusty. Not this time, bit dusty. And this, I actually went solo for the morning viewing. I actually went on my Todd. I like going to the cinema on my own. Put in the comments below, is it weird to go to the cinema on your own? Yes or no? I actually don't think it is. But I am weird. So, you ran out of battery? No, we're all right. The only thing is now it's going to keep going. It'll be all right. We can just. How should we have it? Should we just? Yeah, just whatever. It's Thor: Love and Thunder though, and oh my god, what a fucking film! Visuals. Remember, we're gonna be spoiler free here though. Come back on. I'm gonna say Tuesday. We'll do the spoiler heavy podcast of it. But this was one of the best and most fun MCU films we've had. I absolutely adored it. This is actually quite ironic as well, because if you've seen the film already, you know Stormbreaker kind of takes on a mind of its own in this film, like it is now. But this, Jesus Christ, Sonny, I think this is our most epic and most great version of Thor we've had inside of the MCU. He was so fun, he was so endearing, he was so powerful, he was so badass, he was so this was just the all-round complete package, even though this version of Thor throughout the film in himself feels quite incomplete. And it just goes to amazing acting by Chris Hemsworth, great directing by Taika Waititi. Everybody in this knocked it out of the park. I guess for the spoiler-free review, let's jump straight to Christian Bale's Gorr the God Butcher, because he did an excellent, outstanding job. Gorr was so captivating inside of this film. He was so magnetic. I was drawn to him. The only downside I can pick is that I feel like we should have got more of him. It didn't feel like we got enough of Gorr the God Butcher. I mean, we did get a decent amount, but I would love to have got him a hell of a lot more. The scenes that he was in, especially because we see him transform into, from how he started to what he would then become, and the way he was getting more menacing and devilly looking and evil looking, and the teeth and the eyes and whatnot. He was just so amazing. And he has weird little moments where he would mock certain characters, whether it be Valkyrie or the Mighty Thor, and he would say little stuff, and he would or there's a moment with a bunch of kids and he sort of takes a piss, and he's trying to be a bit weird and kooky in that, but he's still got a very serious job to do, because, again, without spoiling anything, what his plan is quite epic. Christian Bale absolutely knocked it out of the park. He was so frigging great in this. I absolutely adore that man. He's crushed it as the Bat. He's crushed it as Gorr. What else is he going to crush? Jane Foster, awesome in this. They did take it, we mentioned it in the comic books, because apparently they weren't going to take it, but they did take a certain storyline, which I think they kind of have to if they were doing the Mighty Thor stuff, from the comics and transferred it over. It's very emotional and whatnot. I could see somebody who's maybe been affected by this kind of stuff being very hit hard by this film, and especially the performance she gives and whatnot. So great. Tessa Thompson's Valkyrie, absolutely amazing. Taika Waititi, Korg, beautiful. So everybody nailed it. I actually want to jump to this, because when we get to the Shadow Realm, this is not a spoiler, we see it on the trailers and whatnot. I think it's one of the most beautiful scenes in terms of how it looks, because obviously we know we go to black and white, but we get little hints of colour and whatnot. It was very, very sort of, what the fuck's the film called again? Sin City sort of esque. And we get this beautiful fight sequence on there, and it just looks great. You know, again, from the trailer, we see Gorr and Thor eyeing up with each other, giving it that, and, whatnot. And it just looks phenomenal. It's so amazing. But yeah, this film from start to finish has you in absolute tears with laughter. There are a few heart-jerking moments. Well, I'm an emotional wreck anyway. I cry at most things. I am such a wimp. It's very beautifully written. It's very somewhat as well full circle in terms of some of the stories that Thor's been going on with himself, especially with him and Jane and whatnot. You get to see that a lot of that brought out in sort of, come to a. Well, again, I don't want to spoil too much, but you get a nice lot of full stops in a few of Thor's MCU arc. Get really, really great introductions to new characters to the outside of the MCU with like the likes of Zeus, guess King Valkyrie, obviously, a couple of other gods, the goats. Oh my frigging god, Tooth Gnasher and Tooth Gnasher and Tooth. Tooth, I think it's Tooth Grind. Anyway, we get a couple of like a few character introductions, which is absolutely awesome, and a major one. There are two cutscenes, one very beautiful, and one like, you're from a show that I absolutely love, and I didn't realize they would cast you as this certain person. Get the fuck in! A cool climax because it's official. Thor will return. Shit, was that a spoiler? I don't know how many people. I was kind of expecting Thor to die in this. Am I spoiling stuff here? Because no, I think a lot of people don't expect. I think it was just me for a while that expected maybe Thor to die off. Thor will return, but I think we may have just got our most funny. Ragnarok was hilarious. Guardians is quite funny. No, I actually genuinely think this could be the most funny MCU film to date. It definitely, like I said, it smashes you right in the heart. It smashes you in all sort of emotions. Visually great, that the fight sequences and whatnot, and how the different characters bounce off each other, especially when they're fighting, they're doing stuff. You've got Valkyrie teaming up with Thor and Mighty Thor, and they're doing all the shenanigans. Looks great. Korg as well, obviously. Korg, Taika Waititi, I've already said it, but amazing in this. Beautiful writing, beautiful directing. Cinematography is fucking outstanding. Certain Thor armors just look beautiful, with the blue and the gold. It just looks so stellar. And I do think... I want to say Gore is one of now my. I mean, I've got the debut of Gore, the comic line, which I'm happy I've got now because they've probably gone up a couple of quid. I always loved him and thought he was so curious as a villain. The comics is a lot more darker. He's dark in this, but he's a lot more darker in that runner that he got. But I really want to say Gore is now one of my favourite villains inside of the MCU. But I feel like I shouldn't because I wanted to get. Well, there again, just because I didn't have enough time, I still felt the stuff I should have felt, if that makes sense. Can I say he's not because he hasn't got enough time, even though I still adore... No, 100% no. He is actually, yeah, fuck it. He is one of my favourite MCU villains. He is outstanding. Of course, we all know the history of his blade as well, not being the first symbiote and whatnot, and who it actually came from and stuff. You did get symbiote vibes about what the sword was doing, but it wasn't symbiote shenanigans, so that's that out the window. We haven't got a symbiote version of the blade, as far as we're aware. Honestly, I go to the cinema all the time, as you visuals know, and I have so much fun. This film was the epitome and the exact definition of going to the cinema and having fun. The other film I would state as well, that's like that, is like The Meg. I love The Meg. It's scared me because I'm terrified of sharks and the water stuff. All amazing and wicked. But this was the ultimate have fun. Go to the cinema, forget about what's our shit jobs and we've got to pay bills and boring, normal human shit. Come to the cinema a couple of hours and have a real good time, and that's exactly what you're going to get. Like I've already stated before, hilarious, sad, action amazing, acting beautiful, writing outstanding, directing amazing. I want Taika Waititi. How do you pronounce it? Taika Waititi or Taika Waititi? I go in and out. Taika Waititi, I think, is the correct pronunciation. I just want him to be on the gem, the pinnacle of movie makers. Everything he does, like even Jojo Rabbit and whatnot, taking a film about Hitler and Jews and everything that's happened in World War II, and then making it into what he made it into. I fucking love that man so much. I think a lot of, I reckon millions of people across the globe also feel the same and realise how much of a great filmmaker and storyteller he is. But for Love and Thunder, it's going to get... I'm always Mr. Optimistic, this visuals. Because I don't need to go into... There was a guy sat behind me and he went, it comes at the end, Full Return, and they're like, oh, of course he will, just to keep feeding the corporate engine. I'm thinking... Shut up, mate. I get it where you're coming from. You just, they're just churning it out for the sake of it. But they're telling really great and fun stories here. And they're making it an amazing world. They're doing something that's never been done in cinema before, especially not to this scale. and they're doing something great. If they were just churning it out and it was crap and most people were like, nah, that's rubbish, fair enough. But the fact that they're doing it, and 95% of the time they're hitting most MCU films, obviously not all of them, some are a little bit down, but most MCU films are great and the whole world is having fun with it. So it's like, who cares if it's part of the corporate machine? They're going to get my money because I want to be entertained by these characters and these storytellers. So fuck off. Each their own. I guess you can have your own opinion and whatnot, but fuck you. Yeah, I am Mr. Optimistic. I'm gonna give it a solid 10 out of 10. I really am. I should downgrade it a little bit because I wanted to see more gore, but the gut, as in not like blood and guts. I wouldn't mind blood and guts. I could see Thor, disbowling a monster and being like, oh, covered in the guts, and that would be hilarious. But I wanted to see more gore, the God Butcher. But to be fair, the bits I did get, I fell in love with. I think it's because I was an addict. I was like, oh, you've made him so amazing. Christian Bale, you've done a great job. Give me more. I'm not giving me more. Right, fuck you. I think it's because I was so addicted to his performance in this. That's why but I'm sticking with a 10 out of 10. It was absolutely amazing. But yes, in summary, visuals, not to be repeating myself, but I usually do because I'm a fat idiot. We will go into more depth and more detail in the podcast that go up on Tuesday. But yes, hilarious as always. Great. All the stuff I've said before, I don't need to repeat again. It is fucking amazing. Please go and watch it ASAP and then come back and get in a conversation in the spoiler heavy review podcast. Thor Love and Thunder, 10 out of 10. Beautiful. And there we go, visuals. That was my review. Spoiler-free review for Thor Love and Thunder. If you have seen it yet, let me know what you think in the comments below. We're not spoiling it for people that, the 5 people that watch this video. And then come back, like I said, to the podcast on Tuesday. And we can really get talking visuals. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are literally the best. Remember to always keep being you and keep on. Keep it on. I was going to do something mighty and worthy, but I'm just a fat dickhead. Visuals, I love you.